What is up, everybody? Welcome into the B Team podcast. We got Chad and myself tonight. Thank you to our title sponsor, Kubota, Dealers of South Dakota. They can help you out with all your lawn tractor needs and other equipment needs. Love John Colley and his sponsorship. And then the show sponsor for the B Team is Culver's of Brookings and Watertown. Go check out their great food. Have to grab some this weekend while I'm in Brookings. Tonight, Brendan is at some fancy dinner, and so
5 courses, not 4, 5.
Yeah, so who knows how long he'll be.
Is the 5th course beer?
Probably. I don't know. People are probably wondering if Podfather kicked him off the podcast after his swearing rant.
I love what you did with it and the fact that you called him out. It's like, well, if you don't think Brendan cares and calls out the team when he disagrees with things, you should have been there after the Iowa game. Oh boy. I kind of forgot about that. Maybe I blocked it out, but that one was a rough one there.
Yeah. Brendan, he's definitely will criticize when criticism is necessary. After that Iowa game, he was not happy, but
he was.
To be fair, we should have won.
Might have been involved.
It was a missed opportunity, but back to this game. I guess if you haven't seen, it sounds like some people were pretty upset about how the offense looked and everything, and Brendan kind of got fed up with it and pushed back a little bit. A lot on the late show with Borg. So you can go check out my bleep-filled tweet for that recap. But
yeah, it's kind of a hot button thing for him. He doesn't want to become the thing that we poked at for so many years. The arrogant Bison fan.
Well, yeah, and I guess that's the point is
the quote unquote. They're not all that way anyway, but
Yeah, and it's not that you can't criticize. I mean, we criticize all the time, whether it's in our group chat or rants and raves or on the podcast. I think it's how you go about it, and just expecting to blow every team out, and it's just you got to have some realistic expectations, especially when you're facing a team like Montana State, who is very, very good. I mean, they're a national title contender. I would fully expect them to be a top 4 seed. I'd be surprised if they weren't. I mean, that's a very, very good team. And so it's okay to criticize, but I think it's not okay. And you get into, NDSU fan territory when you start to, have unrealistic expectations. So
we're bringing up blown calls by the ref after you beat someone badly. Those kind of things. Like, there's nothing to gain from that. Historically, that's happened from the team up north. Sorry, guys. I'm just calling a spade. And, this isn't an overly negative podcast. I mean, no. We're not gonna dog on these guys. We're not gonna call people out by name per se. That's just not what we do here. We're critical though. We've been critical in the past.
Strike a good balance.
When we had a really terrible offensive output in the Marker game last year, we called it out. Like, we didn't say it. We couldn't say nothing about it, right? I mean, It was not great, but sure. I mean, we were in that game. You've got a party light going on over there, or disco? What is
me?
Is that your TV?
Oh, it's the projector. The Vikings games on. Gotcha. Watching the Vikings lose.
And like Chris Howard says here, you can see improvements from week 1 to week 2. Absolutely. And this is a young green team still.
100%. I mean,
finding cohesiveness.
Going into the season, we said, we wouldn't be surprised if we started 0-2. Sac State looked like everybody thought they would look. And then obviously going to Montana State, we were hoping 1-1. And being 2-0 with a new team that's still gelling, still, is improving, and still, as Garrett said, has an opportunity for improvement for sure. It's exciting to see. Ron Lowney says, at least he didn't have 12 men on the field. Yeah, I mean, that penalty was huge. It was a sloppy game. It
was.
I guess maybe I shouldn't say sloppy, but there were a lot of huge momentum swings from all the turnovers and the kick six and everything. It was a really weird game, but it was such a fun game to watch. Um, I talked to my uncle who went out to watch the game. His son went to Montana State and lives out there, and his group said that the atmosphere was just amazing. And he said that they were every single offensive play that we had, they were up on their feet and yelling as loud as they could. Um, and so for us to only have, I think, would we have one false start is all?
Yep,
Which,
one, and unfortunately, that was Kenyon. And it's going to happen.
yeah,
He's pretty green in that position for live game reps.
right. But I mean, compare that to how many they had when they were in Brookings.
Right.
It's impressive that they only had one.
And I would argue they are probably louder there than we are in Brookings for a number of reasons. Our fans have gotten much better at being vocal. That's one reason. And the other reason, there's just more people there.
For sure. It looks like Seth Meyer was there too. He said it was an awesome game to be at. Atmosphere was incredible. That was Marvin. The other thing they mentioned was just they had really good experience with Montana State fans, which was cool to hear. Said the tailgate was great, and I think it's such a people can throw around the word rivalry, which I don't think you can call it that yet, but I think it's definitely. I feel like we're in similar situations where we're Montana State. I think Montana was the big dog for a long time in Montana, and now they've kind of taken over. And I think, we kind of feel the same way once we got those national championships under our belt and, topping NDSU a few times. And so I think, there are two rising programs that are kind of at the peak of where they've ever been right now. A lot of momentum. And I think there's some mutual respect there, which is really cool.
Yeah, there definitely is. There's some similarities between the program having to deal with the perennial powerhouses of the past, so to speak. I mean, there's the parallel us dealing with the NDSU being the juggernaut and having been the juggernaut and even going back into D2. And the same thing for Montana. Montana's got a rich history too. And so somewhat the underdog card is similar there, and we're both land grant institutions. You can afford a house in Brookings. I guess that's different, but Ron Lowney says they need to lower the ticket prices, or you just raise them, and then the crazy Californians that moved in will think it's even more big of a deal, and they'll have to be there and pay way more. Let's go that way once. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of they're ahead of us in that aspect in terms of having as many season ticket holders as they do and selling out as regularly as they do. It's pretty impressive because I think even cold games they sell out those, which we're almost there, not quite, but I think we're headed there though. I mean, because I think what do we have? We have 7 home games this year, and I think 5 of them will be sellouts.
Yeah, I mean, this year's been a huge step forward. I would say in ticket sales, and I mean, follow Green Dot Watch on Twitter. That guy's got her figured out, and he'll let you know where we're at. But we're pretty close to, I think, 5. And if this team continues to improve week in and week out, like we hope and we know they will with the staff that we have, we're just going to get a better product every week. And our blowouts more fun in some ways, but I'd probably rather have a more challenging game. This one was maybe a little too close, but we got two periods of free football, so that was awesome. We win on a defensive walk-off, stopping a 4th down. It wouldn't have been that close if we wouldn't have had a penalty there, but such is life.
So let's talk about that. Going back to the first overtime, I was screaming at my television that we should go for 2.
I agree.
In the first overtime, in that atmosphere, if you have a chance to win it, take it. But Dan Jackson, he trusted his defense, and I think he knew that we had struggled to get short yardage in that game, And in hindsight, he made the right call. The second overtime, we scored right away. We didn't get the 2. And so obviously if that 2 was in the first overtime, we would have lost. And then the defense holds. And so he made the right call. And,
Absolutely.
you can always, if Montana State does score in second overtime and then gets a 2-point conversion, okay, then we start to, play the game. Well, we should have gone for 2 in the first overtime. But the way it stands, he made the right call. And it was cool to see. Oh, Brendan was almost on.
Yeah, I think he got suspended, didn't he? For
what's that? Suspended?
He got suspended. The Podfather gave him a suspension. It's a first half suspension, so
yeah,
he only has to sit the first half. Yeah, you're right, Ben. All of us can armchair quarterback, right? And question the staff and their decisions, and usually they're right. I mean, I'm no football guru. The only thing that really I question, and if you watch the Dan Jackson show, he kind of explained it. The only thing I really that play was the rugby style punt instead of, he said, well, we figured that way it wouldn't get blocked. Well, some guys didn't block their guys and they got through, and so even the rugby punt did not go well. And he tried to adjust and still get it off. I still question that call, but potentially if it would have got blocked, it would have been blocked right into the end zone and they would have scored 7 points right there.
Something had to go wrong with the blocking scheme. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, he said
that didn't happen just because it was a rugby punt. I mean, some got communicated wrong, and they essentially kind of looked like they blocked it like a normal punt, but he tried to do a rugby punt. So, Brendan,
I was guessing that they saw something potentially where they thought that they might actually get home on that, and that's why they made that change. But
right, welcome to the podcast, Brendan.
Hey, what up? Sorry.
How was your fancy dinner?
Well, it was good, and it takes a little bit of extra time to plant the evidence to blackmail the Podfather into lifting my suspension so I can come back on. So
yeah, he took the muzzle off.
Yeah, thanks for posting that. I appreciate it.
It's not like you can't read his lips on every F-bomb.
I know, but
it's so perfect.
As I was listening to it, I was laughing, and then I was like, man, it would be hilarious if I cut this up and put bleeps over all of them. And then it is.
And then hilarious. Zach's reaction too, because Zach starts cracking up after the first one. The second time you hit one, he's just dying.
It's like Ocean's 12 when the dude who's the bombing expert is making a rap album, and it's all bleeps for it to be on the radio. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Got a little carried away there.
Jim asked if the 5-course meal was at Culver's.
Of course it was. We're what better place to get a 5-course meal than Culver's? I can't think of one, to be honest. I mean, that's gourmet right there. Get the pepper pub burger, baby. It's delicious.
What is this? We have an NDSU fan in.
No, that's not an NDSU
what is
fan.
This?
I had to look twice too. It's like a helmet from.
I don't know, but what's he talking about?
I don't know. I think. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, you'll have to clarify there, Bill.
Yeah, on the punt thing and just in general, I don't think we've mentioned how much of a factor the crowd noise can be, even if it doesn't make you jump off sides, which I think they did a great job of. But, we're talking about, it was rugby style punt called, but it looks like they blocked it for something else. Well, what makes a lot of sense for that? I think they were at the noisiest end of the stadium as well when that happened. Makes a lot of sense that possibly some guys didn't hear it, or heard it wrong. And so things ends up getting blocked funny that way. And then it looks like a disaster. So yeah, I think that's a potential thing. I don't know. You guys talk about the offense and everything yet, or?
No, I haven't
know where
yet. We were talking about, we talked about you swearing a lot.
No.
But no, not, we were more talking about,
I was hoping
We did talk about the
Yeah.
after Iowa experience.
A little bit, but we
A
were
little
more
bit.
talking
We did not
about
get into details.
the
good.
balance
We're
of both criticizing but keeping realistic expectations, which is what you were getting at.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, and that wasn't about just one person, except for the
Exactly.
part where you say I'm not critical. Well, then suck my ass. But
How exactly
besides
does
that,
that work?
but
I don't want to know.
it's a general thing that I've have noticed as the success goes up, and it's just part of it, and it does drive me crazy. When I look when we look at this this the J After Dark should be uncensored like on Comedy
it
Central.
was.
It
It
was.
is.
was.
It is. It's uncensored.
The bleeps were just for the repost.
That was
Right,
added
yeah.
for Twitter.
There was no bleeping.
I think
going
it's
on in the
still.
show.
I think it's still live on Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
or,
you can go
excuse me,
find it on YouTube.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, I didn't get banned, so we got that going for us. It
That's
was pretty
surprising
crazy.
it didn't get banned
listed
on
on
Facebook.
Spotify.
Yeah, probably good call. But the main concept that I'm trying to get at is, for me, yes, God, there's so much to work on. There is. There's so many problems right now, but problems are always magnified when you play the best competition. It's always going to magnify whatever issues you have. If you're normally 50% on third down, but you're kind of just getting it done, then all of a sudden you face a really good defense, you're 1 for 13 on third downs. That sort of thing gets magnified. Personally, when I look at this and how the season started, I don't care what we were bad at. Getting through 2-0 is what matters. That is full stop.
100%.
There's people like the tone is like, boy, we're just getting lucky to get through these games. It's like, what are we talking about? They were 2-0. That's awesome. That is awesome. And we can fix the rest of the stuff. We're starting off with a team that hasn't really had a chance to gel. They've been getting this from getting fire hosed with the amount of info and gelling, plus having the level of talent they've had to play against. So my point is, hey, let's be happy with winning, and we can work. These things are going to get worked out. We've got time now. We've got Drake coming. We've got Mercyhurst. Not that we'll be able to just, slap the dog against those teams, but they are an opportunity to improve on these things a lot more than playing at Montana State in one of the harshest home environments in the country with new interior linemen who, all the props in the world that we didn't have a ton of false starts or muff snaps or anything like that. But, I think some of the plays where Q gets beat, he's going up against a really fast guy. If you have some issues with communication, hearing, getting off on the ball, you're getting off on the ball slow, that's going to give you huge issues if that guy's kind of giving you a hard time with his speed anyways. That sort of thing. I'm just saying, don't be down in the dumps and over focused on the negative things. This is incredible. This is a team that I personally believe should be ranked number one. It doesn't matter that they're not one. Like, I don't think that's anything anybody should be mad or worried about. That'll be sorted out late in the year. It doesn't matter. It's week 2. But I think overall it's just nothing but massively positive to come through this stretch 2-0. The whole season is set up perfectly. You couldn't ask for it to be set up better. Other than did they say anything about Reese's injury at all on the coach's show? I didn't have a chance to listen to that.
Nope. No mention that I caught.
Yeah.
The good thing is he's got a while before
it's really, really important. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bad thing is shoulders, if it's a shoulder, are long heel.
They can be.
They can be.
But you see as the defensive linemen especially, you see them out there with big old braces on their shoulders all the time. Because I think it's a pretty common injury for that position. But the other thing we talked about that I was going to ask you about is I think you're on the same page. In the first overtime, would you have gone for 2?
No.
Really?
No.
You trust in the defense?
The defense was too good.
Yeah.
The defense was too good. The offense was too shaky on short yard. I mean, it's been the whole 2 games, the whole season where we've struggled on 3rd and short, 4th and goal. Their defense was damn good. Their defensive line was really good. Hearing was really hard, and getting off the ball is important on a short yardage play like that. I would absolutely have done exactly what Dan Jackson did and trust my defense that's been lights out the whole time. They gave up that one drive right away, right? And it was kind of a hot knife through butter, but that was kind of out of characteristic for the whole night for how the defense played. So I still had all the faith in the world that they would get a stop, and thankfully it worked out. But that's just me. That's how I'd have been about it.
Yeah, and then they had the OT. They kind of gave up a drive there too, which was uncharacteristic.
Well, that's the drive I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you said the first drive, I wasn't sure.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I meant the first drive of overtime. Sorry, I wasn't very clear there. But yeah, that's what I would have done personally. I agreed with it 100%. When your defense is and I know the general logic is go for the win on the road.
Yeah, we can ask Alex, but I'm guessing the model says go for 2 in the first overtime.
Right.
Yeah. What's the card say?
Yeah. What's the card say?
Are we going to see the card come back? I mean, I feel like Dan's a little bit more Stig than Jimmy was, and I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's a mix of both. I mean, we've seen some
saying.
of the aggression
bit more
of going on for it on 4th down that you didn't see a whole lot from Stig, as much, especially in the Sac State game. They went for it a fair amount. But yeah, I don't think Dan is the card guy. I'm almost wondering if he has somebody who has the card.
That makes sense.
I could see have somebody up in the booth have the card, so you're not trying to search through while you're in the chaos of the sidelines, and they can just say, "Hey, this is what it says. What do you think?" It doesn't have to be on your neck, for it.
I mean, if they go score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion and win the game, I would have been saying, man, we should have put it in Chase Mason's hands in the first overtime to try to win the game. But
yeah,
it worked out.
I mean, that's what you say anytime, because in that hypothetical, say you go for it on 2, or you go for 2, and then
100%,
and you're saying, "Well, I wish I would have put the the defense's hand that's been playing."
No, I wouldn't have said that. I would have said I'm fine with the decision.
I think that's just a personal choice thing, and I really don't know if there's a wrong answer in those situations. The only thing that makes a call like that wrong is if it doesn't work. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Because if a coach is making that call in that situation, they have something. They have a reason they're doing it.
And Seth actually makes a good point here. He said home way doesn't matter. If you go for 2, if you think you're not the better team, if you think you're the better team, you kick and keep playing. And that's a good point, because I think, I think if you look at the game as a whole, I think it felt like we were the better team. And especially, with the defense, I mean, if you take away the kick 6, they only gave up, what was it? So it'd be 10 points.
Right.
10 points is all the defense gave up. And so, I don't blame him for making the decision, because I agree with Seth. I think we were the better team. And like you said, we were struggling in short yardage and trusted the defense. So
the model had to make a calendar. The model made a model of sorts, if you will.
Yeah, Garrett Meyer says, but the model had to make a calendar. Don't trust the Wish AI.
Oh, geez.
that last part's pretty rough.
That's tough. That's mean. Alex puts a lot of work into that.
Kids. He's got
Man has
work
a family.
Wish AI, is that what he's calling the model?
Yes.
I guess so.
Oh, boy.
He's on here. He can.
That's brutal.
Tough, Garrett. Damn.
That's brutal, Garrett.
That is tough. Oh, my God. Oh, no. I do agree a little bit with Ron Lowney saying there's too many statisticians instead of instinct. A little bit, in sports in general. Sometimes I think we get a little carried. See, now you made Alex sad.
Yeah, he's in height.
But you know what makes you not sad, Alex? Cheese curds. at Cubby Sports Bar and Grill or their Chislik, or having your wife deliver Chislik to you at Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. What a win. You can go down to Cubby's, possibly run into the Mrs. Kenkel and everything else, and get yourself delicious Chislik, some great beer, more TVs than I can count to, which isn't that hard to get to, but they got a lot of TVs. They're all over the place. Roughly 3,000, I believe, is our latest estimate. The patio, I'm sure, will be open. The rooftop patio will be open for this weekend. It's supposed to be a gorgeous day, something like 88 degrees. You're going to want to be able to pop up there before you head down to the tailgate, get get you some out there. And they're not going to have garage time, as was reported by the A team, because we're just selling too much of it, baby. Let's sell that out, and then they'll have to make a bigger batch, and then it'll end up at Cubby's. Because B Team Mafia, you guys are rock stars when it comes to supporting us, supporting our sponsors. We could not be more thankful. It's just incredible what you guys accomplish when it comes to those things. It really blows our minds. So thank you for that.
I wonder if Alex's wife could get us some ranch from Cubby's. Like, I want a whole
tub of the Cubby's
of
ranch.
God,
right.
That stuff's good.
It
or
is.
At least like the secret ingredient. Like, how do they make it?
We'll get a picture.
I'm sure they make it themselves.
It could be sourced. No. If it's in a jug, she should be able to get a picture of the label at least.
It's runny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it themselves, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
If it's Runny Ranch, they're making it themselves.
We'll have to find out.
All right.
Although I don't know why we're relying on her. We should build that into the contract.
Right. Next year's contract.
We'll give you a deal on
one
the
of them
sponsorship.
You're gonna get a percent. You get 5% off if you give us the ranch contract. Give us the ranch sale. Yeah. How are calendar sales going?
About as well as I thought they would.
Yeah, they've stalled out.
Means they're
not. B-Team Mafia comes through when it matters, but on calendar sales,
yeah, I don't blame anybody on that one. Well, Rev wants 10.
I need to figure out how to get one to Rev and one to Kevin. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We need to give a bunch to Matt, and then he can put them on our store, and they can just ship them for us.
I don't know who in their right mind would want one of those, but
Beth.
I gotta think people at his work would want to hang him up.
No,
we can't do that.
We specifically said not to do that. That was part of the thing.
Well, I mean, but if a guy comes up and asks for one, are you gonna tell him no if you find out he works at Solventus?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes, I'm not gonna. He just started there. I'm not gonna let that happen to him. Impossible.
You do one more thing on Cumbies. You do got to grab the jacked up game day burger. Mr. Hadrick's on here.
Yes.
His beef is provided for that, and it is delicious. So yes, do grab that.
Fantastic. That's got to be crazy in the kitchen. It's like, oh, it's this burger. We need this beef.
True.
It's got to be interesting.
Bring out the good beef.
Having been one of the line cooks in a restaurant like that before, like that's got to be something. That's got to be different.
I think Ariel, it's 18th of September.
I'll get you one. I think they're $20 and $5 if it goes to the Alex's Lemonade stand.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put it on your fridge?
Yeah, right. Right.
I'd hang it.
If you want to give him a hard time in his personal life with it and all that, then that knock yourselves out. We just this job should never affect our working lives.
Yeah. By the way, did Ariel see the clip from Saturday night?
No,
when the bats invaded my house.
Hilarious.
Oh, the bats! No, I don't think she has. That was hysterical.
Oh,
well, we've had comments up in this format you can't see, but you should see what my name is for the night.
Yeah, if you take the comments off, it'll go up there.
There he is. Still in transitioning.
No.
Well, you got to go find the clip, Ariel, because it's hilarious.
Yeah, it was super funny. I told her about it. She hasn't seen it.
Speaking of Dracula, is it a blackout this weekend?
It is.
It is a blackout.
Maybe.
And you know what?
You know who wears black? Dracula.
That's right. Well,
Ariel, do you have any Dracula makeup?
like I want. This is gonna be hard to show because Google Images are weird. Like I'm a big Winnipeg
You can
Jets fan,
download it.
right? Oh, here we go. That'll kind of work. Um,
Oh, this is
But
happening. She has a cape.
have fun with the blackout. That's my thing. Is look at these guys up on the top right here, right? They're all it doesn't have to make sense. Make a costume out of it. Have fun of it. Like that's how you make it kind of a big deal. Like the Winnipeg Whiteout's legendary in the NHL, and
Yeah, but
it doesn't have to be. You could
probably
do
don't
anything
do
you
the
want.
probably don't do the face paint.
I still have
Yeah,
my
yeah. Well, I said that to my neighbor. Like, that's not. Don't paint your face black. That's
well, I mean,
not ideal.
but that guy had it right. He had white with black eyes, right? So that's okay.
Well, that guy was Winnipeg Jets logo on his face and sunglasses.
Oh, okay.
Those were sunglasses.
But back to the
yeah,
plan for this weekend. Ariel says she has Dracula makeup and a cape.
Right.
I think this needs to happen.
You think so?
I just want to see you over in the corner, like with your collar up.
If just glaring.
If it helps at all, Ariel, you remember the Jack Skeleton costume I had? That's been sitting in the back of my car since then. So
if they allowed they don't allow it, but if they allowed if they allowed umbrellas into the stadium, I'd have an umbrella for when it was sunny out.
Oh gosh, that'd be nice.
That would be great.
Yeah. Oh God, that's what I need is security to mess with me. That'll be fun. That'd be my favorite. That'd be the best part of my day. But
all right. Well,
yeah,
anything else you want to mention on this game before we move on from Montana State?
I mean, the A team did a great job with going over everything.
Yeah, we don't need to rehash it all. I just have to say how awesome Chase Mason was.
Yes.
I mean, especially early in the game, you could tell that they had some plays scripted. And boy, were those lethal. Like when him and Ogroski were clicking, I was like, yeah, this is what I wanted to see. And I think we'll only see more of that going forward as their connection starts to develop, and hopefully starts to develop with other receivers too. But those quick throws, you can short throw a team to death if you got the quick throw game down. And I think that's something that Chase Mason can really excel at. And so I was excited to see that, and I'm excited to see more of that. And then obviously the throw to De La Hoya in double overtime was just money. It was, I mean, he was wide open, but I mean, you see guys sail that throw all the time or don't get it there in time because there's a safety coming. But it was perfect. And love seeing that. So I'm hopeful that I'd like to see more De La Hoya. I think he can be a legit receiving threat. I saw it in the spring game, and I was really pumped for him to get in there and get that touchdown.
Dude must be pretty quick because he made it a long ways down the field pretty fast for a big dude.
He's an athlete. He's not your typical tight end, that's for sure. He's like I think he looks like a big wide receiver. And you kind of see that mold. That's like the popular thing for tight ends nowadays is to act like more wide receiver and just have a bigger frame, and that's what he is. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
I think just overall that game, and I said it in the group chat, that I haven't felt like that excited and buzzing after a game in a long time, just because I think it has to do some with the uncertainty of this season and the big moment and everything else coming into the game. And it was so fun to have that feeling all game, the suspense of I don't know what's going to happen. And
probably since that marker win up in Fargo is probably the last time I felt that, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Garrett Meyer mentioned both OTTDs were against good coverage. Yeah, we got to mention Ogroski's catch on top of the guy's helmet. That was incredible, and he made that one arm catch look so easy. And he's going to be a problem for the Missouri Valley, that's for sure.
Dude, he had a hell of a game. I mean, just a hell of a game. Definitely want or need another receiver to grab that number 2 spot. But boy, Ogroski, stepping up in a game like that, him, Chase, stepping up in those big moments like that is so huge and such a good sign going forwards to just take those moments in stride for either relatively new or young pieces to just step into that so seamlessly is just such a good sign for the rest of the season.
100%.
I
Well,
think this is the point in the program where we talk about the beer because
that's a good idea.
the Dakota Mayhem, he asked what I'm drinking, and I appreciate that, sir. I am drinking a Zip Zap Zop, is a Hefeweizen from our good friends at Wooden Legs. It's a pretty traditional Hefeweizen. You can see the colors, a little bit hazy. You got that yeast in there. That comes from the name Hefeweizen. You know, Hefe is the wheat, or excuse me, Hefe is the yeast, and Weizen is the wheat. So,
I did not know that.
Yeah, and it's got Hefeweizens are known for their banana and clove characteristics, and it's got that in spades. I really love a Hefeweizen. This is as good as any. Zip Zap Zop. Get yours when you pick up your game time this week down at Wooden Legs.
Garage time?
That's what I meant to say. Apparently, I'm on garage time because I said the wrong thing. Game time burger, yeah, garage time burger, whatever. Your mom goes to college.
So their beer, like one of their main beers is wheat yeast, is the translation.
Yeah, I mean that's the German translation of Hefeweizen, essentially.
Interesting.
It's made by the oldest, I mean, not this particular beer, but one of the oldest continuous brewing breweries in the world is Weihenstephaner up just north of the good old Munich, and we've been there. A fun fact is when we were there, there's a red light going off because they do open air fermenting, and there's a red light going off, and the guy's like, "Oh, you can't go into that part of the cave because it's in the side of a mountain, of course, in Europe." And he said, "You can't go in there because the CO2 is too high. That's what that red light means." And he was like, "Fun fact is the way they used to deal with the too high of CO2 because people would pass out and die. Like, anybody have any idea how they did that?" And somebody said canary, and they said, "Well, that's a good thought, but it wasn't a canary. They used dachshunds because they're really low to the ground, and so they'd tie a rope on, throw a treat in, send the dachshund in, and if the dachshund passed out, they'd pull them back out, and they'd mostly come to." He said, so they'd know that it was too much CO2. They couldn't go in.
He was a little slow after that, but
oh yeah, you know.
Eventually, we had a really stupid dog, but it made it easier to get him to chase the treat when we threw it.
Apparently, I love saying Hefeweizen. Yes, I guess I do.
He does. You do. You say it well.
We should have like a German corner with Chad.
Chad's German minute.
Yeah. Bill says he's got a coffin and everything.
Damn.
Oh man,
Bill, you're wild.
So Bill is a legit.
It sounds like he's a bison fan.
Yeah,
he said he's got his bison helmet on.
What? Yeah. He said bison helm. Yeah.
And he's offering us his coffin. What? That's not. Wait. He's trying to kill me.
It's not a stained coffin, and you didn't use it for any weird sex things, did you?
Oh,
I'd be worried about a used coffin. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway,
God.
Moving on. Jim mentioned Pierre Strong signed with the Packers. That's pretty cool. I hate it because now it makes me like root for the Packers occasionally. But Tucker Kraft getting a touchdown yesterday is pretty cool too.
Does that mean he took Amar's spot, kind of?
Yeah, and did Amar get signed? I thought Amar got signed.
Did he? To the practice squad? I don't know.
Yeah, practice squad somewhere else, I thought, with the Chargers or the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, he did. You're right. He got signed elsewhere. But he did get – that's what I'm saying. So he kind of – anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Yeah.
Chargers is where Amar Johnson went.
Yeah, he was right.
Hey, yo, look at me go. Sometimes I'm right. Not all the time, but there's moments. So the big blackout Everybody wear your black. It doesn't have to say Jackrabbits on it. It can just be black. Have fun with it. Have the kids dress up as Darth Vader or whatever. Maybe don't give them a red or a green lightsaber. Make sure it's a blue lightsaber. But beyond that, have fun with it, man.
And note to the students, that's not a challenge. The blackout game.
Oh, yeah. It could be. Maybe it is. I would have taken it that way.
Cheered for the whole game.
Right.
I understand it now.
There it is. There it is. Boy, that took a while. Really.
It did.
I guess it wasn't that funny if I had to wait that long, Ben.
All right. Well, you got before we dive into Drake, which I'm sure it's not going to be a very deep dive, but Jesus, do not show that comment.
Rack.
Anyway, go ahead and put up the ranking. We'll show the Red Shirt Sports top 25 ranking. And start the rant timer. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I have thoughts. I'm not going to rant though.
What are your thoughts?
Do
you have a zoomed in version, Chad?
I think and love the Red Shirt Sports poll. Love what they've been doing. James reached out to me again this year, and I have more time, so I'm also partaking with a good buddy Alex and putting a poll in for this. Super smooth. I'm very impressed with what he put together for that. That being said, brought to you by Mensch Greenhouse, of course. I am annoyed. I don't care that I truly don't. People, I think they're naturally going to think that, he wants SDSU to be first because he's an SDSU fan. That's not it. I'm just annoyed because a lot of people have said, how much they love this Montana State and SDSU matchup, and we want to see more of those matchups, yada, 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 yada. It was said all over the media this week, right? And then when it comes down to it, they vote for NDSU in first place. And when I brought it up, the thing that kind of drives me nuts is most people didn't give me a reasoning. I was like, and you guys saw one of the conversations, like nobody really came in and said, well, I put them here because of this. And even though I understand what the reasoning is, I would have appreciated somebody being like, hey, I picked NDSU number one because, they won the last national title. They've looked really good. They've been even above what you would expect in those games. And that's why I kept them there. My big thing is if you're going to want these out of conference matchups, right, then you got to reward them when they win. And, like Sam Herder told me, like, oh, well, if SDSU loses the marker game, it wins the rest, then this is going to be a huge feather in their cap for, the 2 seed and everything. And I guess that may be true. But I just wish we would reward these type of games. And it's happened in the past too. If I remember, I think it happened to Montana State before and Wyoming and all that stuff. It's just a little bit annoying. In the end, that's fine. The big ones that stand out to me, and it kind of just speaks to where we're at in the season, is Idaho in the top 10 after really being in a dogfight at home against St. Thomas. Now, granted, St. Thomas beat the piss out of Lindenwood, but so has everybody else. So I don't know what that means. But they played Washington State close. They're also like damn near across town. They're so close to each other. Like the emotions of that rivalry game going against a new coach and new players all gelling and everything. I don't put quite as much stock into that performance because it's not like their offense was performing at a high level and they were scoring a bunch of points. Their defense just locked down on offense. Not that that's not impressive, but there's other factors that contribute to that when you're looking at a team that really was really close to having St. Thomas, a Pioneer League school, beat them. Another one that obviously everybody on this chat, I'm sure, was just so sad to see was South Dakota. What happened? Why are you way down there? You poor little things. The dogs are down. What happened?
Trash puppies.
Okay. After being a shit about it. 2 things that stand out. Number 1, Lamar is below South Dakota. I contributed to that directly. To be honest, I didn't vote Lamar into the poll at all. I don't think they looked like a top 25 team. USD, I still think, has the pieces to be a top 25 team, but I had them even slightly lower than where USD is in this poll. It's just polls end up looking bad when stuff like that happens, when it's just one spot between the two of them, which is a shame. I do feel bad for the poll because it does look bad, but that stuff happens. It sucks. I don't love it. In retrospect, maybe I should have ranked Lamar. But overall, what I really think happened is everybody's looked at South Dakota, and they got kind of duped into the concept that USD is a Dakota school and they've had really good team 2 years in a row. So they're going to reload despite losing what they lost in the portal and losing their coach and a coordinator. And I think if we would have popped the hood a little bit deeper, maybe push back a little bit harder, the reality is USD is not, as a program, is not on the same tier yet as NDSU, for certain NDSU, and definitely not SDSU either. It was their first time making the playoffs in back-to-back years ever in D1. They made it to the quarterfinals twice, and I think they might have made it once when they had what's his face, who should have won the Walter Payton. But
Crazy Legs, yeah,
right. But realistically, they made the semifinals one time. SDSU's made the semifinals 7 of the last 8 years. They made 3 national title games in the last 5 years. They've won 2 national titles. They've been to the playoffs 13 straight years in a row. They have the second longest streak of being in the top 25 polls at 177 weeks. Obviously, NDSU is on the top of that list, but the next closest after that is the Montana schools at 60. That's how dominant the run of being a good to great program SDSU has been on. They're not the same. And I think that's showing because when you've only been 2 years good, you haven't had time to build up the depth that can absorb the losses that they had to take in the transfer portal. And that's potentially an issue going forwards. And I've talked too long on this already without you guys chiming in. So let you guys go ahead.
I was just letting you cook. I agree 100%. And, I don't think you talked that they're not to the level of the Bison or the Jackrabbits when it comes to the program. I think you also got to lump in the other 2 top 4 schools.
Correct.
For sure there. Montana State. And, I mean, look at what UTRGV's got. That's facilities-wise, they're there. So Tarleton, they're an up-and-comer. People aren't sleeping on them. And no matter what anybody in the comments says, people are not sleeping on Tarleton. They're ranked number 3 here, Ron.
Yeah, nobody's sleeping on Tarleton. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we just don't know.
A lot of time we've been through it as Jackrabbit fans. A lot of times you're ranked that high. It is hard to stay that high and not have a game where you slip up, because now Tarleton's going to get to experience really having the target on their back in the UAC, which has proven to be a pretty damn good conference. And you could argue 3rd best conference in the country right now, which is wild to think after all the chaos that ensued when that was formed. So that's something that's interesting. Things that stood out from teams I watched. UND looked really good. Granted, they played Portland State, but to not have any hangover after playing, an FBS team close and feeling like you should have won is a good sign, in my opinion.
And they
Monmouth,
beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, they beat the crap out of them. And granted, it's Portland State, but they destroyed them. Monmouth is a hoot to watch. If you want to watch a really fun football game before they end up getting buried in the abyss that is Flow Sports, which I have a tidbit about that. If there was a bunch of tweets from me today, but you might have caught it. There's a D3 conference that just switched to Flow Sports, and they have lost 90% of their viewership that they used to have since they joined. Yeah, Zach McKinnell says second best conference. I mean, the potential's there. I don't disagree. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be the guy to go that far, Zach.
There's Big Sky people in our comments. Watch out.
Right. But the thing I forgot to mention is the reason I loved Zach and Timothy. I'm going to call him Timothy. I don't know if that's Zach being Southern when he calls him that, or if Timothy. I don't remember if Timothy prefers being called Timothy when I talk to him in Frisco. But listening to those guys talk about how they were going to approach their number one picks was Dan Wilde, Flow Sports, the go offensive streaming. That's a fact.
That's perfect.
But you listen to the Blue Bloods guys talk about that. That's what I appreciated, because you didn't get a lot of reasoning when I was bringing up my annoyance with NDSU getting picked. But it was nice listening. Timothy does a great job of pointing out this is why I'm picking NDSU and all that stuff. And this is why I'd go into that. A lot of it had to do with, some of polling. Personally, I don't necessarily see it that much that way, but some people view polls as a bit of a projection and who they think is going to be best in the long run. That factored into it for Timothy. And then Zach, the wisest of the FCS sages, was on Team SDSU for first place. So, just saying, it feels like
Zach,
we're on the right side of
they're
history.
both pretty high up there.
So, I said one of.
I'm just saying.
And that's the thing. Like, you can disagree on a poll. Like, I could, as long as you have logic and explain your logic, that's fine. Like, there's a dude who votes in this Redshirt Sports poll that you want to talk about some just wild polling. His name's Coach Steve. He's got that. Holy hell.
I guess maybe sometimes you just vote for what you know.
Well, he says
he
says he's got some sort of method or something.
Okay.
He's got a method or something that he follows, and it's crazy. He's got like 2 top 10 teams from here it is. I found it finally. He ranked Incarnate Word at 6, Harvard at 10, Dartmouth at 11, Nichols still, despite getting absolutely pumped by West Georgia, at 12, Western Carolina at 16, NC Central at 17, Mercer, after losing to Presbyterian, at 18, and Indiana State at 24. Oh, and by the way, no North Dakota in his rankings or USD. And he had Presby at 25. So
yikes.
That's why you have more than one or two people in a poll, so crazy stuff doesn't overly affect it.
So now that we have to pay attention to the Ivy League, I did not know that they don't play out of conference games.
Oh, well, they do play out of conference, but they only play 10 games a season.
Why?
That's because, it's the Ivy League.
Give me the short Ivy
League.
It's the same reason they didn't used to participate.
Same reason they didn't participate in the playoffs.
Academics.
Yeah, they hold on their academic prestige. They drape themselves in the worst student athletes thing and hide behind that. And realistically, what it is, that's been the Ivy tradition since the beginning of time. And they've always played 10 games. And they basically invented football. They've always played 10 games, and that's the way they play it. And it didn't matter is the other key. It didn't matter at all when you're only playing for an Ivy League championship. Who really cares? But now it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, think how long it took to get them to finally participate in the playoffs. Now try to get them to take away the 10-game season that's been like a pillar of Ivy League football. I think that could take a long time for them to finally change.
Well, how's that going to affect? I don't know.
It's going to be hard for them to get seeds and everything. It's going to be hard for them to get seeds, and it's going to be hard when you're in. It's going to be hard when you're having to compare resumes, and Ivy is 8-2. and then somebody else is 9-3, right?
Right.
That's going to be tough, and traditionally a lot of their out of conference is NEC schools or lower level CAA schools. So it's going to be interesting. I'm with Zach. Can we have a battle of models? Alex versus Coach Steve versus Timothy, the Royal Rumble of models. Oh my God. I'd love it.
I don't know. Only one of them has a calendar that we're aware of.
Only one model made a model. So, I mean, it's called Superior.
How funny is it that, we almost sent Sean and Joe to Presbyterian, and turns out they're good.
No, we almost sent them to Western Illinois. Presbyterian, they genuinely sounded upset about Dust the Rev trying to send them there, and that really makes me want to send them there next year.
Well, yeah, I threw that anyway. We'll talk about it.
Oh. All right. Well, let's move on to Drake. We got the Fighting Ray Gronowski's coming to town. They're coming off a huge win. Well, I guess they're coming off a bye, first of all. Did not play this last weekend, but they are coming off of a massive win over the Peacocks.
Yes.
The powerhouse that is the Peacocks of
Upper Iowa.
Upper Iowa. There we go.
The Upper Iowa Peacocks.
What did Dallas say?
I don't think we need to repeat what he said. But
they got some fun cheers, apparently.
No, I mean it's the same story. When we have these out of conference games, you hope to keep people healthy, get people healthy that aren't. And what I'd really like to see is developing some depth in the running back room. Not that it isn't there, but I want to see Begman and Basinger and maybe even others get out there and rack up some yards, see what they got, and then start to really develop the second, third, fourth receiving threats. Get some guys some rest, and hopefully I wouldn't mind it if Luffridge took like one series and then sat the rest of the game.
Right.
Because that guy's got plenty of mileage on him already. And the last thing we need is him to have more carries than needed. So I'm sure he'll get more than one series, but I wouldn't mind if he didn't.
Yeah. I think that is obviously ideal, but specifically what you talked about is, getting a second, third option established in the passing game. Because for all we know, it could just be Mason's not quite fully trusting a couple of guys yet, and they need some reps in the game to get that to work. And there's plenty of things to potentially work on in this game or to see improve. I don't want to say work on, I should say see improve, because Drake's not coming out here to be a practice dummies for us.
Oh, no.
Like, these are things to improve. You're not going to be able to like, hey, you guys line up this way so we can work on this look. But I think it is a great opportunity for the guys to improve. Getting the ball, Chase getting the ball out of his hands. All those sorts of things. And like you said, keep Loffridge minimal workload on him. I got a feeling that will be a thing. Just with how Chase has been very protective of his body when he runs, it feels like the coaching staff and Eidsness are very aware of who they need to keep healthy and those sorts of things. So I got a feeling that would definitely be something they might try to do, is give the young guys some more reps as long as the Hogs are moving people around. And if you're able to get yards with them, I got a feeling we'll see a fair amount of that. But it's just exciting too. Hopefully you can get to the point where you're able to see the third, fourth string guys. I love that about games where you're supposed to win big and you get to see some of these young guys out on the field and see who you got. And, who knows? You end up having a true freshman pop in this game that ends up being too good to keep him off the field. Like I feel like that happened with somebody in the semi-recent past where they just exploded in that game. I know there was definitely times where like seeing Isaiah Davis in a game like this, and you're like, oh, we got something here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's a really, really raucous. I hope it's really rowdy at the start of the game. I hope it's not dead and a visit fest. Sometimes it feels like that happens in these early season games where, you know, the opponent is supposed to be outmatched, and a lot of people are in the stands visiting with friends that they haven't seen in a while instead of being involved in the game. So hopefully they're louder. We're really loud. Get Drake a little rattled to start the game, because they're coming here to win. You know, they face the Dakota schools all the time. They're not afraid. It's not going to be something they're going to be overwhelmed like, oh, we're playing them. They play us almost every year. It feels like they're more than aware of what they're coming into, even with a new coach. So, yeah, it'll be. I think it'll be important for the crowd to be involved at the start.
Yeah, Alex mentions it's the Beef Bowl. So we got the blackout game and the Beef Bowl.
Yep.
Which, speaking of which, do we have beef tailgate plans?
I was going to ask that same thing.
I have a Hadrick's Ranch brisket that I'm going to be making up.
Nice.
I believe our good buddy Thomas is going to be bringing beef chislic from Hadrick's Ranch as well. That will be cooking up. Maybe it's not from Hadrick's, but he's got beef chislic. But yeah, we'll have plenty of beef there. I believe it's about a 12-pound brisket that'll be cooking up there, and then
thank you, Troy.
Yeah, thank you, Troy, for hooking me up with that on Friday, or last Saturday, I should say Friday. Last Saturday, hooking me up with that, because really excited to get that on the smoker. I can't wait. I made some smoked cream cheese last week because I just had to get the smoker rolling on game day. I'm just itching to make that brisket. So hopefully,
and don't worry, Brendan, with quality beef like that, there's no pressure not to mess it up.
Troy,
yeah, I was just going to say, I better not screw it up. Man, you know,
if Troy's coming, hopefully Troy's there. You should stop by and try it out.
He was there last.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I saw him.
Chad's seen how. Well, you guys have both seen, but especially Chad has seen how grumpy I get if I don't think I did a very a great job on the brisket.
And your brisket was good by almost any measure.
Just Brendan's over there moping. He's like, "Oh, I didn't do a very good job," and we're over there just harping it down.
It's drier than it's drier than I really want it to be.
Yeah. So you can about imagine what I'll be like if that happens with one of Troy's briskets. I'm going to be like on suicide watch or something. Reese says, which is weird because bats don't eat brisket typically.
Troy, I'll be honest, his brisket.
Then sometimes we surprise people.
His brisket is so good. Normally, you might end up just giving him a brisket to cook just so that you can eat it prepared.
Right.
It is that good.
It's fine. Let's relax here.
I'm just saying it's great. It is great. Your brisket is great. You know that.
We're on the verge of opening up that food truck, I feel like.
It's pretty good. Ariel's gonna kill you.
I think you can make good money opening that food truck and probably still do your day job.
Listen. One job's enough with a daughter in high school that's doing 2 sports in one season, chasing after that, plus the baby. I don't need a second job if I can avoid it.
I will be making, I forget what they're called. It's like a beef tortilla kebab thing. Saw it on TikTok and I try it out. It'll be kind of an appetizer type thing. So fun.
I gotta say, Ben, the stuff you bring, criminally underrated or under heralded maybe is the correct term, because it's always banging, and you make stuff. Some really cool stuff that you find.
Yeah, I like
and
variety.
His dad too.
Yes, and your dad. You guys both make killer stuff that I wouldn't like. For whatever reason, my brain gets locked in this loop of things to make, and you guys make these really cool, unique things, and I'm like, shotgun shells, pulled pork, loin, brisket. Shotgun shells, pulled pork, loin, brisket. So
I will say
appreciate
mac and cheese.
Yeah, bring mac and cheese. Yeah, bring mac and cheese this weekend.
The shotgun shells, the ones you did last weekend were the best ones you've ever done. So whatever you did,
good. Yeah,
whatever you did, do that again because they were good.
Well, if anybody's
Did you get-
wondering, Brendan's tailgate recipe corner. It was just your Mancotti shells. I did 3 packs of them, and then I took 3 pounds of just regular pork sausage.
Mancotti.
Package and a half green onions, and then package of cream cheese, a buttload of measure the shredded cheese with your heart. My heart loves cheese. And then go ahead and
Wisconsinian.
douse it. Don't be shy. Douse it with your favorite barbecue rub. You really got to hit it. Like, nothing worse than under seasoning it. So hit it with a barbecue rub. I like to go with sweet ones because then I can't like over salt it, especially in those. Then stuff your Mancotti shell, wrap it in bacon, hit it with your seasoning again, throw it on the smoker at 185 for an hour, and then crank it up to like 300 to crisp the bacon for another 30-ish minutes.
I think we need to have a JI cookbook.
Right?
And pudding
We
shots.
Well, we had the tailgate recipe of the week for a long time.
Yeah, we did.
And then that kind of went away. God, who did that? Why am I blanking?
That was
on who
Timmy.
did that? It was Timmy, and it was phenomenal.
Tim
stuff.
Goldhammer, yeah.
So good. Tim Goldhammer.
Mhm.
Awesome.
He just got a little busy with work, so he couldn't do that,
Yep.
I think.
Because he's like a pro, and he shows up. I get all nervous. I'm like, you don't have to try my food. It'll be fine if you don't try my food. Yeah. Which rub? Ron says. I got to look at the picture that I took last time. I threw some raspberry chipotle in there. I couldn't tell you the brand, but if you've bought a lot of rubs, you'll know what I'm talking about. It comes in the glass jar that's like this big or so, and the logo is almost like a periodic table of the first 2 letters of whatever's in it. So I put some of the raspberry chipotle in there, and then I believe I used a bunch of the honey hog bacon from Meat Church. I believe that's what I put a bunch of in there. And
Meat Church has got some good stuff.
And if you run out of pork like I did, you can take another block of cream cheese, basically make the same recipe, sans the pork, and then stuff it with the cream cheese mixture. And those were incredible.
Those are really good too.
You're noticing a theme. Jim brought up my pocket cheese. Yeah, I like cheese.
Yeah,
We haven't seen any milk on the podcast this year.
That is
surprisingly.
false. I've had a glass of chocolate milk on a podcast every week so far. Just nobody's mentioned it
On a podcast, not this podcast.
I think I had it on the B Team week 1, and then it
Okay,
was
maybe.
Scared Money Don't Make Money week 2. And actually, it was funny that you mentioned it because I think anybody, our longtime listeners, know the thing I hate is chocolate milk or milk that you add Hershey syrup to.
Oh, it's the worst.
And that's all I had. That's all I had available.
Straight to
But
jail.
we have a milk frother that was able to mix it really good, and so it was better than normal, but it still wasn't great.
Where do you lie on Nesquik versus the
Love Nesquik.
powder? The powder versus
Yeah.
What do you mean, the powder versus
I don't know.
the
Versus
syrup?
the Hershey syrup.
yeah versus Hershey syrup.
Oh, the powder is
way
a
better.
billion times better.
I mean, I don't know. My number one favorite is someday they'll sponsor us. There's a there's a dairy with the glass jugs at Hy-Vee. Their chocolate milk is just unbelievable. It's so good. You're not matching it with Nesquik. It is phenomenal. And don't here's people's problem. They get 1 or 2% chocolate milk. Don't do that. What just happened? Oh, my screen went dark. That was weird. No, we don't. This isn't a rant. Just don't just get the
Brendan's milk rant.
get the whole chocolate milk. It's so much better. It is so much better.
It's
And
good
just
for
so
you, too.
everybody knows, whole milk, the fat content is 4%.
And it's good for
For
you.
whole milk.
It is good for you. Yeah. Right.
So, 'cause
Speaking
people
of
are
good for
wow,
ya-
it's got 100% of the fat compared to 2%. No, it's not.
Northern Colorado gets jobbed on a win
Oh,
over an FBS team.
yes.
And who do they play next week? This could be interesting.
University of San Diego, I believe, right?
Yeah, the trash puppies.
Oh, farther north. Sorry, my bad. Yes, it is the Yotes. We can get into that. We'll get into that on Scared Money Don't Make Money. But
I in the details. That's interesting. And North Dakota plays Montana, so we're gonna see some things kind of filter out and see where these teams actually are.
I will say I think USD is fairly safe, because Northern Colorado is a perennially bad team, and even if they are hugely improved more than people think, those sort of teams tend to struggle with handling success, even if it is a close game like they had at almost upsetting Northern Colorado or Colorado State. So I've got a feeling that they're not going to handle that mental as well as they should, and USD is obviously going to have a point to prove. So I don't think the Yotes are in a lot of real danger.
And Brendan doesn't have to worry about the Penguins because they play the Spartans of Michigan State. They're going.
Oh, good. No, I still have to pick that game, and all they've done is Cartman me. They could at least take me to dinner before they. Well, you've heard the line.
Tune in to Scare Money Don't Make Money for all the MDFC matchups on Wednesday night at 9, I believe. Chad, did we hit all of our sponsors?
We did not talk about Northwestern Mutual if Brendan wants to.
Oh, hey, Northwestern Mutual with Chris Schenkel in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. If you need to get your retirement in order, or just want to find some new financial mechanisms to make your money make you money, go down and talk to the boys at Northwestern Mutual. Talk to Chris Schenkel and the gang. They'll get you set straight, help you out, and get you on a path for success for your later years. Maybe be able to help you move up when you thought you might be able to retire even. I know one of the reasons I was afraid to talk to one of those guys for a long time is how bad I thought of a spot I really was in, because I was my strategy was money in a 401k and hope. And it was really good to sit down and talk with somebody like that. Really took a lot of weight off my shoulders, go down and talk to the guys at Northwestern Mutual. And of course, as usual, we are partnered with them for Alex's Lemonade Stand. Them and FCS Nation Radio have the big competition for the Lemon Head Trophy or the Lemon Trophy. So we're very excited to be partnering with them again. Pudding shots were a massive success, I think I'd say, right, Chad? You ran out you ran out early.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to make 5 batches. We had a heated discussion Friday night whether I make 5 or 4, and the wife said just 4, and it will be 5. So.
Which, by the way, where did you were gone for like 3 hours during tailgate?
He went home.
What you don't understand is that's always happened, Ben. You just don't pay attention
that's
normally.
True. He is always gone.
I've always went out to the backyard. Now I went the other way, and the problem is, if I make it one way on the way back, I just get accosted, and that's where all the pudding shots.
Yeah, assault.
It's a good kind of accostment, if that's a word. I'm really curious about Zach McKinnell's comment here. He said, "You did see Aiden Bowman, though, right?" ? They're going to be in trouble very soon.
He didn't look great.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was hurt.
Bad game. No, he had a bad game.
To watch it.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to have people to throw to. Did he lose receivers?
Oh yeah, they lost. He lost his number 1 target, and Carter Bell. He's gone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, they he did not do well. He did not like pressure in his face. He saw one play that just sticks out in his mind. He had a wide open receiver on an out, and there was a free blitzer coming at him who was a ways away, and he spiked it 5 yards in the dirt in front of the receiver before the guy didn't even get close enough to hit him, the blitzer. Let's just see. They were 1 of 9 on 3rd down. We can't really crow about that. No. Passing, he was 10 for 21, 5.1 yards per pass for 108 yards and an interception.
Yeah, not great numbers.
So it's not Walter Payton numbers. So they only had 243 yards of offense the whole game. So
all right, we gotta get off of here.
Jesus, Kevin.
Jesus. We avoided ROT's comments all night.
Yeah, well, his name I put one up on accident and the jugs got me. I laughed about it, but then I forgot like his name actually goes up there too. So that's
Yeah.
You change it to ROT69, I'm more likely to put your stuff up. We all know who you
Yeah.
are.
You're gonna have to change your content a lot,
Jacob's
though.
cousin or whatever.
Yeah, we get the shtick. It's been around for a while.
Yeah. All right. As Jim says, as we always say, go big, go blue,
Go
Go
Jack.
Jack.
Go Jags.